All right, and with that, we should be live. Welcome, everybody. We are talking today about different dock accessories, and we're going to start with signage. And this is going to be a little more focused on commercial marinas, but a lot of the topics that we will discuss certainly would be applicable to a individual a one-off dock as well. So don't tune out if you don't run a marina. If you do run a marina, please watch, because there's a lot of really good stuff in here. So let's start with signage, right? Absolutely. Right here, I've got a gas dock sign. You've got a couple of different slip number signs and stuff like that. What is this material? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, so this is actually King Starboard. It's their color core line. You can see where we're able to mill down through a very thin layer of the material that's kind of sandwiched between another color, right? So you've got this thin layer on the outside, in this case, that's white with black on the interior here, and then white on the backside. So these are two signs that we make that are out of King Color Core. This is a configuration that we've been able to add to our site to give somebody the flexibility to be able to input the numbers that they need for the slip, right? So if you've got a marina that you've got 40 different slips, you can go through and order 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 40, and there's very low engineering that's involved because we've kind of created a template for it.
So these programs are ready to go. We're just subbing in the part numbers.
That's correct. So same thing, A through Z, the engineering's been done. You can do alpha or numeric for this A dock, and then similar here, right, for this slip sign. So this is something that as Andrew mentioned, if you're an individual boat owner, we've got something for you. But from a marina standpoint, with all of the engineering's already been done, that you can come and do that one-off. I need new signs all through the marina. For the material that you discussed, the King Color Core, this is the guy that had wood signs out there on the dock that he's constantly go back and refinishing and painting.
Or aluminum signs that rust.
Correct.
It can go either way, right?
Or fade over time. The paint fades off of it, or get rusted or chipped off. This is something that's permanent, right? The starboard's going to last for decades on decades out there in the elements.
So it's just like, it has the same physical properties of King Starboard. It is starboard, it's just co-extruded, right? So I'm sure anyone who runs a marina is familiar with starboard and has used it on a variety of different boat applications. So we probably don't need to sell you on just how durable it is. It really is a one-time, let's go ahead and get these installed and go with this option, and we're not going to have to do it again for ever, really.
Absolutely.
So, we're looking at white, black, white. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that there are other color options. I'm holding a couple right here. In this case, I've got a white, blue, white, and then I've got a brown, white, brown. And these are just two samples I had sitting around. So we inventory here at Boat Outfitters the white, black, white. And if you wanted something like this, that's generally something that we can cut pretty quickly, like Jared's saying. If you wanted to look into specialty colors, we can certainly do that. A lot of times there are order minimums. So again, going back to maybe for your one-offs, that wouldn't make sense, or it would be cost prohibitive. But for a marina, if you're ordering 100 different slip numbers and a gas dock and some different dock signs, you might get up to that minimum there pretty quickly, and that might be practical in different colors. So It's definitely something to keep in mind as well. So let's switch back over to the website real quick, because we're not holding all of the different signs that we can do. Of course, this is the A dock and the slip number. We do have two others that we're showing here, which is the please no shoes on board, and private yacht, please no boarding.
Right.
So in addition to these other two that we're showing, you want to talk about the process of doing custom signs with custom messages and how that would work?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've got a team of people that I always say over here that are kind of a team of customer service, sales, project managers, that when you want a custom solution like that, we're able to do it. Number one, we've got the white, black, white, like Andrew mentioned, in stock. So if you wanted to do something that's a different color, of course, there would be material quantity minimums that need to be ordered. But if you wanted something like this that's changed to where it doesn't say slip, let's say it's something else that's similar to this size, what we would generally do is price you out for the cost of the material and then the engineering. This is something that from a tech standpoint, we would charge you probably 1 to 2 hours maximum from an engineering standpoint.
It depends a little bit. Like if you said, hey, the font and the font size is all going to be the same, right? We have A through Z in this size of this font, and we might have a half dozen fonts that are ready to go. If you said, hey, I want it to be the
very
super
intricate,
crazy fancy, it can vary a little bit for sure.
Yep. So again, we would basically just quote you on the cost of the material plus the engineering time that's involved. So if you do want something, Andrew mentioned, if you want something simple like this, that we've already got the font in place, very, very nominal engineering cost. If it's more intricate that we need to trace or digitize that file and make it a vector file to be able to engrave, of course there'd be more cost and more engineering time involved.
Which is a good transition to this. So, we're showing King color core, and that is our recommendation. This is more of just a, hey, this is cool, we want to show it to you, and it is an option. It's very spendy though, but if you wanted to do signage out of acrylic, we have you become more sophisticated here, I would say, even over the last just couple years, of our ability to digitize logos and to take different vector files and to mill them into acrylic or to have them laser engraved into acrylic. And something like this is super sharp looking that you could actually backlight, and maybe you had the same deal, your slip numbers, your dock signs, and they were on a frosted or a clear acrylic with the different engraved slip numbers. But I would estimate, and don't hold me to it, but I would guess that something like this is probably 5 to 10 times the cost of just a simple color core with a milled logo. But something that you should know is an option.
Right.
Cool. So signage, we've covered signage pretty comprehensively. I want to transition into another project that we did for a large marina here just a little while back, and that is different dock triangles. So that might not be immediately intuitive. So what I want to do is throw it over and let's look at what I mean. And here we are. So one of the things that's common on different marinas is these filler pieces, and hopefully you can see my mouse right here. I'm kind of tracing it out. And these are triangle filler pieces that go in the corners of the dock so that you pick up more dock space. You don't block your walkways. And in this case, you can see that this marina has mounted a triangular dock box on top of these so that the dock box, of course, doesn't get in the way. And you can see these are pretty narrow walkways, so I can very much so understand why this marina wanted to install these. That would get in the way if this was sitting here or here.
Yeah, if their docks were wider, they have less slips, right? So I mean, they're maximizing their space.
That's a good point.
Docks wider, they have less slips, they can bill for less. In this case, by having this project done, they're able to maximize the width of the dock and the number of slips that they can get into the marina.
That's a really good point, and think about that. And really, this is wasted space, right? I mean, you're not doing anything with this. And looking at these boats, it could even be quite a bit larger, potentially. You do start to get into a little bit of rigidity questions on what are you mounting under it to make sure that it's super stiff as you get larger. But this is a project that we did with this customer here. And one of the nice things is this customer needed a certain quantity. It was in the hundreds. It was a lot of these. And we were able to work with King Plastics, our supplier. We're a very long-standing good customer of theirs. And we were able to figure out the size of these triangles and order a rectangle that was perfectly sized to pretty much cut diagonally, and so that there was zero scrap. And we priced this originally as if we were going to cut it out of a 54 by 96, which is your typical sheet size for starboard, and it was quite expensive because there was a significant scrap factor associated with that. Because we hit a certain quantity, we were able to go back to King with our relationship and get a custom run to a specific size where we just did one quick pass around the outside, one pass across, stack these triangles down, and really get very, very cost competitive compared to what it would have been just saying, going to your local plastic shop and saying, hey, can you quote this? So it's definitely something to keep in mind. It was really a great project and a win-win, and something that anyone who's running a marina that's considering an improvement project like this should keep in mind.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Let's now maybe walk over to just general dock accessories, right? And this is where maybe there's more application for your, hey, I just have a dock at home and I want to kind of pimp it out and make it really nice. This is a new part that's been selling really well.
Yep.
It's a newer part. You want to you have one right here. Let's switch back over. Yeah.
So this is basically, we have actually seen quite a few marinas that are purchasing this part
in quantity
as well. It's something you can mount directly to the pylon. We've counterbored in here to where you can add any fastener in here all the way through the back. And this really gives you an option to hang anything, your dock lines, you're able to hang hoses. You can use it as like kind of an anti-chafing point. If you mounted it onto a pylon next to the boat, you're able to maybe drape your shore power cord over so that it goes into the boat without dragging or chafing onto the fiberglass. Again, a really low cost option. I think this is $19.99, somewhere around there, which again is a nice little hook that doesn't really, you never have to worry about something happening to it. I believe the larger one might be $24.99.
Yeah, so the larger is 25, let's call it.
But that's a
20.
really good picture that shows like a dock line hanging on there. You can get a sizable hose on there. Again, a really simple but unique part that's going to last out there in the marina.
Cool. So going back to other dock parts, we of course carry a lot of different size and style dock boxes.
Yep.
And we've really spent some time selecting partners that do fiberglass work, that do really nice interior finishing on the inside of the dock box and build a real nice part. Let's go down and see. So this is one of them, but they've got another style. This is rough water style.
So there's ones with gas shocks and ones without gas shocks. Mm-hmm. They make them in different sizes and length, volume, height. The one is more of a low profile. We also have dock boxes that are triangular. You go back to that reference that we had with the dock triangles we did. You saw there was a triangle dock box on most of those. So that's an option we have available as well. One of the things that again works, like Andrew said, for the individual at their home or their home dock, but also for a marina. A marina's got to have a fish cleaning station. We have the ability to build custom fish cleaning stations. We have a lot of stock ones that are available. In fact, one time I went out.
You're getting ahead of me a little bit. So the internet's not as fast as your storytelling. so yeah, here's your triangle dock box, right? Yep. Yeah, totally fits on your triangle, expansion, or really in any kind of corner or anything like that. So you were saying fillet tables, which are 100% correct. I mean, here's an extra large fish cleaning station.
That's perfect. All the guys coming into the marina, that'd be a great size to have. Again, if they need to do something custom, we have that available as well. I don't want to get too far into the fillet tables we have, but the options.
Yeah, one that I did specifically want to mention, because it actually is not unlike the dock triangles, is the space on the dock is pretty critical. In some cases, you're going, okay, I want to add a fillet table. Where the heck would I add it? I need walking space. My dock's not that wide anyway. This is actually a dock overhang fillet table that mounts to the side of the table, and the legs come out and up. So the entire table is overhanging the water, which is nice for cleanup and everything. You spray it down, and the different blood and guts just drip into the water as opposed to dripping down onto your dock. But we've done different parts like this. We've done some that are a little bit larger, which might be more applicable to a kind of a commercial marina. But yeah, I mean, anything from a fillet table standpoint, that's very much so core competency for what we do. So what else we got?
Yeah, I mean, those utility hooks are pretty cool. If we go back up just a little bit, you can see there's some utility hooks that allow you to put brushes. Those can be added, like I said, to any pylon, and you have something that's going to retain anything that's got like a long handle on it. Down towards the bottom, I saw something that like stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, right to the right there. If you've got to find a place to store your paddle boards, your kayaks when you're at the marina, this is something that's a pretty unique solution. You can see how well it works. Again, not going to rot, being made out of that king starboard material. If we go back over, one of the things that I'd like to, if you scroll up, there's refinishing a dock, right? So, we sell this tough coat material. We've talked about it before, how it can be applied to a boat's hull to restore that hull pretty easily. Same way, the company that manufactures this, I've had a couple conversations with them. They're going to a lot of the cruise terminals in South America and just re-rolling the entire docks down at these
theme parks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a safe solution, and it's a pretty low-cost solution if you're considering refinishing the whole dock from an appearance standpoint, that you can roll this on and add some traction and make it look more appealing as well.
And we've got a lot of different color options, which you can look through. There's just a ton of different colors out there. Definitely something to keep in mind. You want to talk about, other more niche stuff, but you need it. Water pedestals. You've got step boxes. You've got fiberglass trash containers. Really a lot of different options. For kind of accessorizing your dock and making sure that you have everything at arm's length when you're out there on the water.
Yep.
Anything we missed? Let's flip through quickly page 2 and 3 here and see if there's anything else worth talking about. I know all different kinds of tool holders. Some of this stuff, as you start to get further on in the category, is perhaps a little more, not obvious use for a dock, but someone could use it. You could mount a tool holder in any post. This is a really cool one that's actually more residential than commercial that I wanted to show. This is a part that actually fits onto a square dock post, and it is like a right angle rod holder. So you can kind of see what's going on here. Here's the zoomed in picture of the bottom and the zoomed in picture of the top. So this is actually something that was made by one of the owners of their company, of our company, and he wanted to be able to bring a kind of a cheap rod down and keep it down at the dock, but not keep it on just laying on the deck, right on the deck,
Right.
but on the dock, right? Because you got hooks and stuff like that, and if there's kids around, it's not a good situation. So this keeps a rod at hand and gets a dedicated spot for it. And he just wanted it to be down there so that when a fish jumps or if someone wants to pick something up, they can just fish, right?
Absolutely.
It's right there. So this is a part that sells pretty good. I've always felt like this is a part that should sell better than it does.
If people find it, right?
If people find it. It is a little bit buried, so maybe that's my fault. So all different kinds of different parts. Some of these not as obvious as far as a dock accessory thing. Well, guys, let's switch back over. Let's see, we've got a question. Okay, do you guys have starboard dock boxes? Yes, but I don't recommend it. Let's go check it out. So storage, where would that be?
I want to say
storage?
under storage, and it'd be like a freestanding unit.
Let's see if we can find it. Jared, kill time. Tell a joke.
I just ran out. All my jokes were Halloween centric, so since we're past,
It's the off season.
I'm working on my Christmas jokes right now.
You don't have dad jokes? Okay, here we go. So this is probably the closest thing to what I would compare as a dock box.
You want to switch over so they can see?
Oh yeah, no one can see what I'm pulling up. That would be helpful. All right, so let's pull it up. So, it's tough to see because it's white on white in this case. But this is a box that we built out of Starboard that's actually, full transparency, a box that we built for our trade show booth that we put in the bottom corner to be able to store just all of our cleaning supplies and business cards and backup stuff. But we found regularly at boat shows, people would go, yeah, I want that. Like, I want that, but just in a slightly different size. To the point that after 2-3 years of hearing that, we relented and put it up on the website. Now, as a dock box, I do not think this is as nice as a fiberglass dock box. It is not as
Light?
It is not
Weatherproof?
as define weatherproof.
So, I mean,
it's not as water resistant as far as getting
You've
water
got
on the
that
inside
recessed hinge that's there along the top of it. So if you have any rain that's going to come, I mean,
Yeah.
it will absolutely drip into that box through that piano hinge.
It will, yeah. So if you're talking about water intrusion, it's not close to as good as a fiberglass dock box. I personally don't think it looks as good as a fiberglass dock box. That being said, we can build this custom. I can build this XYZ all day long. You tell me the dimensions, and that is not true of a fiberglass dock box. If you go with a fiberglass dock box, you are set to the established molds that the manufacturer has built, right? And generally doing custom fiberglass work is cost prohibitive.
Right.
So I would only ever consider a starboard dock box when space is for some reason uniquely important and that there's no fiberglass one that works and you're okay with some water getting into it and you are okay with the way it looks. So that's a long way to say yes, but there are some things you want to think about before you would go that route.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well, with that said, if you have any questions, please feel free to post in the comments. And if you need any accessories, signage, dock boxes, anything for your personal dock or marina, we are always available. We got a team of customer service people over there ready to answer your calls and get you fixed up. Thanks. Have a great day.